So I'm here on the Sea of Galilee, and this Sea of Galilee behind me is actually Tiberias, and also to my left is Magdala, where Mary Magdalene was from, the city of Migdal. And I was just reading John chapter 6, and the scripture is talking about that the boats left Tiberias, and they began to cross over, and they began to fish and do things like that. And the people were following Jesus, and the people were hungry, and they had nothing to eat. And there's something very specific in John 6, and it just is like a blip of a sentence. And if we don't pay attention and realize that every word in the Bible has a meaning. Everything that God put in His Word is there for a reason, and sometimes we'll skim over it. And it says this very quickly. It just says, and the Jews' feast of Passover was near. And then immediately the disciples said to Jesus, they said, Jesus, we can't even buy bread enough to feed. There's 5,000 people, men here. How are we going to feed the people? And there was 5 loaves and 2 fishes there, and that's all that was there, but there was 5,000 people to feed. And so we know that Jesus took what He had, He blessed it, and He broke it, and then when He blessed it and gave thanks, the power of thanksgiving, it multiplied, and there was provision enough for everybody. And the scripture says this, it says, and they ate as much as they wanted. But then He says something, another thing that's kind of like looked over. He says, gather up the fragments that remain, that nothing be lost. And it says they took the 5 barley loaves, of 5 loaves, and they filled 12 baskets. Now, we know that the word fragment is meaningful. It's those who've been broken off from the whole, those who are not connected to the whole. And then He fills 12 baskets with those who are not connected to the whole. And I believe in this scripture, and it's during the Passover, what's going to happen during the Passover? Jesus is going to become the Passover lamb. He's going to die. He's going to be buried. And on the 3rd day, He's going to rise again. But what is this? What is the significance of the 12 baskets? People wonder, what does that mean? Why did He say gather up the fragments? What Jesus was saying is that there are 12 tribes of Israel, and they are not they are separated from each other. They are not brought all together into the fold. But what my death is going to do, what my burial, what my resurrection is going to do on Passover, I'm going to gather, 5 is the number of grace. Grace is going to gather all the 12 tribes of Israel and bring them back together again. So from Sea of Galilee, Israel, shalom, shalom. God is saying, I, with my grace, are more than enough to bring every tribe, tongue, and people back together for the glory of God. Shalom, shalom from the Sea of Galilee.